This NBA Finals Game 6 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You're already playing fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. And make sure to download the SGPN app to enter our free $250 US Open contest. Just download the SGPN app in the App Store and hit contest.
Hi, this is Merrill Hodge, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Woo! Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Tout.
What are we touting, Ryan?
Well, we're touting our excellence in picking NBA Finals games, Sean. We're touting our excellence in making good picks when people in the industry are around us to hear. We're touting leading people on a craps journey. We're touting leading people on a. I mean, look, we're sports gambling thought leaders. I figured maybe extend that just to all gambling, craps. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to tout first?
Well, Ryan, we're just back from the FSGA conference in Detroit. A lot of fun. Gotta hang with a bunch of great gambling people. But yes, nothing gives you more credibility. When you're cashing massive tickets in front of the industry, and then also a little icing on the cake. Go on an epic craps run, and we did an awesome WynnBET blackjack stream from the hotel.
I already forgot about that. Which was
just like another level of degeneracy. We're in a different hotel casino, but we're instead hanging out in our hotel room streaming blackjack. It was a true
#Legends only.
And don't worry, the blackjack content is evergreen. There's some pretty fun clips in there. All right,
is it evergreen?
Yes. Well, not for you, Ryan. It was not ever. It was ever red for you, unfortunately. But hey, you got that sweet 100% deposit bonus over at WynnBET. Download that WynnBETting app, and the NBA Finals. We got one, maybe two games left. And remember, over at WynnBET, all users who bet $100 on NBA or in the casino, you clicked opt in. Party with DJ Diesel, aka Shaquille O'Neal, at the Encore Beach Club night. They also have the ultimate fantasy football experience, 2-night stay for you and your entire league. So much action, and they even have a bonus opportunity if you're getting down on the golf tournament this week. A chance to win free golf and a stay over at the Wynn. So many opportunities to win. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Ryan, one more tout for WynnBET. Went on that blackjack run. Also was betting a bunch of sports. And we'll get to Terrell hooked me up with a bunch of picks. The Mystics, a 3-team parlay, all cashing. And then I used Moonoff's baseball lock of the Dodgers -1.5. We were leaving Detroit. I hit withdrawal. Couple hours later, already in the PayPal account. Thank you, WynnBET. All right, joining us here. We were just hanging out in Detroit, and like I said, fed me a bunch of winners. I was all over the Mystics thanks to this man, Mr. Terrell Furman, host of the NBA Gambling Podcast and WNBA Gambling Podcast. Terrell Furman.
WNBA.
I know, I got that in my head. What's up, Terrell?
Oh,
Terrell's muted.
It's all right because I fixed it. I saw it. I fixed it. Doesn't even have to worry. Don't even have to worry.
No worries.
But the best thing about being at FSGA is everybody hearing that I hosted a WNBA gambling podcast.
I know.
Everybody asking a whole bunch of questions and then asking me later that day, what is your lock for the WNBA?
Oh, yeah.
And I said the Mystics -8.5. Lay it. And everybody was looking at me while the game was on. We were at a happy hour.
It was pretty great.
The game came on and everybody I talked to looked at me at one time and I was like, yes, I'm paying attention. Just wait, watch the money happen. And sure enough, the Mystics didn't even sweat it in that second half. Got us the cover.
It was like a little early. They were turning the ball over. I'm like, Terrell, we got to clean this up. The Mystics got to clean this up. They did. Went on to a nice roll and a nice cash. Joining us here, man, who last time we were out in Vegas, Scott gave out that awesome mega parlay. He was on a heater. We got to hang out with our guys here at SGPN, Ryan, because I feel like the mojo's strong. Let's start cashing.
Let's come up with a name. Maybe a parlay committee.
Yeah, exactly. Joining us here, Scott Reichel, talking a little hoops. He's on the NBA show and a bunch of shows on the network. What's happening, Scott?
Yeah, nothing much. Apparently, I'm now a committee member for the parlay committee.
Yes.
I appreciate the invitation
Exactly.
there. I'm an RSVP yes on that, so thank you for the nomination. Besides that, nice to see all of you guys. It's nice to talk about some NBA. Unfortunately, it takes about 10 days to have a single game in the NBA Finals. Way too many off days, which is pretty annoying. But looking forward to Game 6.
I understand maybe with hockey where it's like a real sport where you got to rest up. But come on, these guys are in the prime of their life. One day off in between games, 2 days off for travel. But like when they make it 3 days, it's just like, come on. So that was a little, again, we're itching to get in on this. What are we going to do? All right, let's recap. We'll recap game 5, then we'll get to our player props and then obviously the game itself, anything left in the future market, that we think is interesting. So Warriors got it done. In game 5, it was kind of back and forth there for a little bit. I think it was the first time where the Celtics actually won the third quarter. And Curry went 0 for 9 from behind the arc. My boy Andrew Wiggins had himself a game, and Jaylen Brown struggled. Tatum, granted, he had 27 points, but still kind of like he's not getting buckets at the rim. He's not getting easy stuff. It seems like they're struggling a little bit. And Boston, for the first time, lost back-to-back games. They are undefeated, one facing elimination. I guess that's how it works when you, as you go on in the playoffs, you would be undefeated facing elimination, or you wouldn't be here.
That would be an outlier. That would be.
What kind of stat is that?
I don't know. It sounds good, but then when you do the math,
they took a loss facing elimination. Well, wait,
they're 3-2 facing elimination. Scott, what are your takeaways from Game 5 and the series in general?
Well, I'd say the main takeaway from the series, in my opinion, has just been how Golden State's wing defenders have really given Tatum and Brown some problems. Tatum did set the all-time record for most turnovers in the playoffs. Shout out to you. Congratulations to Tatum. But it's really just a testament to how bad the Celtics offense has looked. And you can talk about how Tatum is the main person at fault. I don't think Udoka's done him any favors. If you look at how Boston tries to run its offense, especially late in games, it reminds me a lot of how the Cavaliers used to design their offenses for LeBron. Everyone just stands around.
You don't mean that as a compliment.
Oh no. I'm going to get to that. I'm saying that I feel like every other player on the court stands around and waits for the best player on the court to do something in isolation. The problem is the Celtics have Jayson Tatum instead of prime LeBron James. But if you're looking at what Boston is doing and what the main reason why they struggle late in games, it's because if Tatum is basically going to be dribbling out the shot clock every possession, because they don't do any off-ball action. They don't really do any pick and rolls either. They just switch Tatum on to Curry and just tell him to do something. The issue is that Golden State, of course, is the opposite. They have a lot of ball movement. Everyone touches the basketball. They get better looks late in games. And when Tatum's being forced to do everything for the Celtics, it's not going to work out. Now, Tatum also has not played well, which has not exactly helped the situation.
Yeah.
But I think you guys would agree, Boston late in games, there's a lot of last-second shot clock possessions where it feels like they wasted about the first 20 seconds on the shot clock. That doesn't happen with Golden State that often.
We did mention the clear coaching advantage before the series,
and just experience in general. I think that was my handicap coming into the finals. Hey, not only the players but the coaching experience is massive, and it seems like these past couple games we're actually seeing that where Kerr is making these minute adjustments that are actually impacting the game, and the Celtics coaching has been solid to get him here, but he does seem a little over his head. Now again, they have a game 6 at home in elimination or facing elimination, so certainly their backs will be against the wall. They'll be fired up. But what about you, Terrell? What's been takeaway from Game 5 and series as a whole?
I mean, the Boston reverted back to what Boston was doing early on in game 1 and 2 that I told you was going to be their Achilles heel. And that is they play an outside in game in terms of scoring the basketball. If they're not stagnant and just playing with one player, they're settling for a whole bunch of jump shots that they really don't have to settle for. When that game 3, why they were so effective in that game 3 when they won is the fact because they were able to get the ball to Al Horford, get the ball to Robert Williams inside. They were able to drive to the basket and get looks at the basket instead of settling for a whole bunch of jump shots. And it's not a coincidence that when Golden State went on their run, it's because they were going for a whole bunch of jump shots. And then in that third quarter, they started going to the rim a lot more. Jayson Tatum woke up in that third quarter and got to the rim a lot more. And that's just the issue of what this Boston team is. They think that every single shot they're going to have is going to go in. And yes, they do make a lot of their shots, but unfortunately, you're not going to shoot 50% every single night from 3 or from outside the paint. So, hey, this is what they're putting themselves into, and they're falling right in the Golden State's trap by they're letting them shoot these shots. They want them to shoot these shots. They're okay if they make those shots because they're kind of always going to fall.
And really, if you're worried like me that they're going to trot out Scott Foster for Game 6 and possibly do whatever they can to extend it to a 7-game series, free throws have been not going the Celtics' way. They got to the line a ton in Game 5. They were only 21 from 31. Warriors didn't shoot a ton. They were 13 from 15, and Steph was 0 from 9 from behind the arc, and they still got it done. That's what's giving me hope, Ryan, on cashing my Warriors in 6.
I think the other thing is just, maybe more of a TMZ take, but at some point, like a team runs out of adjustments. And it does seem like we kept saying it all postseason that this Golden State team, we haven't seen them play their best ball. And it does seem like game on the line. Do you really want to, again, terrified, just like I was for Game 5, terrified to go against the Celtics. Cause when I do, it seems to not work out for me all the time. Like this whole playoffs, but boy, I just gun to your head. Which one of these teams is going to elevate? You trust Tatum's not going to make a shit of it?
Ryan, on the U.S.
He's
Open,
wearing that purple under his Celtics green.
On the U.S. Open podcast, Steve Shermer introduced us to the phrase of calling someone a house cat when they're not playing like a badass. In his, it was referring to a golfer who didn't like playing in the wind or the rain. But Tatum's has had some house cat vibes. Sure, he put up 27, but you don't ever feel like Tatum is controlling the game. A guy who is early on the odds-on favorite.
The basketball over.
Yeah, the turnovers have been huge.
Over, and he's shooting at a low percentage from the field. And if you look at the shots he's taking,
shot selection too. Yeah,
it's not. He's making the difficult shots. That's the issue. He's making the difficult shots. He's not making the easy shots. Now you could sit here and say that partially that is because he's dealing with something in that shoulder, and I wouldn't be surprised if the off season comes and he gets some type of shoulder surgery and he's out. Not doing a lot of work during the offseason.
Well, here's
I wouldn't be surprised.
Here's my lock of all locks. If the Celtics win Game 6, post game press conference will be done in an arm sling.
Oh, nice.
He will have the sling, the giant pack,
LeBron James style. Nice.
But if it's Game 7, he'll be ready to go. So that's
this is why you have to this is why the NBA has that playoff ladder, right? You can't just get to the finals and win. You have to get there and lose first because it's hard. And I just don't see I mean, again, not to spoil it, but even looking at the betting population, referencing a couple different sites, I'm seeing tickets split, yet the big money is coming in on the Celtics, which tells me my narrative brain, they're going to deploy something. The NBA is going to make sure this gets to 7.
that is scary.
But other than that, it's like how Steph didn't have a good game. The reason we're talking about Andrew Wiggins potentially being a MVP.
Go bring the MVP
again.
Ticket coming out of the.
Steph has a bad game. He doesn't hit a 3-pointer for the first time in like 3 seasons, and everyone's like, "Oh, let's let someone else needs the MVP." I just think that the Warriors didn't exactly give their best shot, and they're still looking down the barrel of winning another NBA championship. So
yes, Scott, I want your take on this because I'm obviously super biased. But is there?
I hope he does't like the Celtics.
Is there any chance of the Wiggins MVP? Like, what has to happen? Now, I think I got it pre-series at like 70-1. So again, it's a fun long shot. Seemed completely cooked, but then after that Game 5 win, there was some like rumblings and some buzz. I'm going to pull up his price, but I thought I saw it all the way down to 15-1. Is there actually any chance Wiggins gets the MVP?
If I'm being completely honest,
yes.
No, I don't think he's going to win MVP.
Okay, that's fair.
The thing you got to keep in mind is that the voters always care about narrative.
Yeah,
that's why I bet Monty Williams win Coach of the Year. It's because if you have a chance to make something right that you wronged in the past, you're going to do it. And the argument when people look back on it is how the hell did Iguodala win Finals MVP?
Yeah.
So I feel like if Curry even was in a close race with people, they would still lean to him because he deserves one at this point in time. Now, Curry had one bad game. I'll remind everybody, in basically a must-win game in Game 4 on the road, he had 43 and 10. I feel like he automatically won the Finals MVP when that happened, and they won Game 4. But Wiggins is a good story, but I do think it's a little bit weird that Golden State is up 3-2, and Wiggins basically has the 4th lowest odds to win the to win the MVP. That seems to me like Curry's got in the back.
Yeah, I completely wrote the bet off, and then at looking at the odds after the Game 5, I was like, oh, okay, because Jaylen Brown is 15-1, and to me, that seems way more likely than Andrew Wiggins at 14-1 because Tatum hasn't done anything to warrant being the best player in Boston. If Jaylen Brown puts the team on his back and wins these next 2 games, I mean,
that's not going to happen. I mean,
no,
I
don't. It's 15-1 for a reason. I'm just saying that to me is a way more likely scenario than Wiggins or and Tatum at plus 350. I don't know who's betting that. I guess you're hoping that he's due and he kind of eventually lights up the points and really takes control of the series, which he still has the opportunity to. But for me, they feel pretty even. So I think
there was only one thing that Curry's awful performance did for the Finals MVP markets, in my opinion, which is that Golden State needs to win the series. Any argument that Curry could win the Finals MVP despite Golden State losing went right out the window when he went 0 for 9 from 3.
Yeah, what maniac is betting Steph Curry MVP when it was priced lower than Warriors to win the Finals? Like, what world are you living in where you're getting down on that instead of just Warriors series?
Small difference, but yeah, I mean I would go as far to say I feel like the reason we even talk about that is like old ass history where like Bill Russell or like one of these dudes was just so dominant but like if you really sit back and think about it, how can you possibly be the most valuable player without the fucking championship?
I know it happened one time. It was Jerry West.
Yeah,
now if you were going to actually have that happen again, it should have been LeBron in 2015.
Yeah,
so when that doesn't happen, Curry had no chance, in my opinion, to win it if Golden State didn't win the title. But after going 0 for 9 last game, I can guarantee you, if Golden State does not win the title, Curry has a 0% chance to win the MVP.
100% lock that up.
It wouldn't make sense to the younger audience, What do you mean? Winning's so important. No, I'm making a joke here, Sean. They would totally understand it because winning is no longer like I could see a world in 25 years where winning the team championship is not that important. It's all about getting those individual awards,
making sure your stat line looks great. All right, speaking of stats, let's talk. What do you want to do, Ryan?
I was going to say I got bets all over the place. I'm waiting to the part where we get to talk about bets.
All right. Well, here we are. We're going to give out our sleeper player props. Of course, go to sleeper.com/SGP. Get that 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Join our squad. You can copy our picks. We can copy yours. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Very fun putting these together. And shout out to Jake in the YouTube chat. He's saying he likes Al Horford over 9.5 points. I do think having that extra day's rest, the 2 days off and the 1 day travel day does help an older gentleman like Al Horford. So I don't hate that angle.
Old man Horford.
Exactly.
As someone who just got off a cross country flight, he's my age. Like he's not 100%.
Well, I don't know if Al Horford's taking Delta coach, then Celtics have certainly some problems besides being down 3-2. We'll kick it over to you, Terrell. Start things off. What are your three favorite, or if you want to go crazy, feel free. But what do you got here on the sleeper player props?
Not going crazy. We're in game 6, and that means we just got to keep going back to the well.
Yep.
And it's going to hit eventually. Game 6, Klay, over 20.5 points. Self-explanatory. We're not going to go into that. Jaylen Brown has been a cash cow with the rebounds, over 6.5 rebounds. He burned me one time, but I forgave him, and we're going to move on past it. And then we're going to also go with Kevon Looney over 6.5 rebounds, because I still think that on the road, Golden State's going to put an emphasis on rebound and basketball. They're going to get Looney some more minutes on the road.
He did have, I think he had like 11 in game 4 in Boston. So maybe there is something with the home road, the way Kerr is approaching the minutes, or even some sort of effort thing where he's like really crashing the board. So hard to go against any of those. Scott, what do you got here on the sleeper player props, the over under as they call them?
So for the first one, I'm going to go with Andrew Wiggins, the person who you're hoping ends up winning Finals MVP. I'm going to take him over 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Just looking at the number, it's too low for a guy who can walk into 13 rebounds any given time. I just feel like that number's too low. I'm looking at Draymond under 7.5.
Yes.
He lit it up offensively for 8 points and then did not score for the rest of the game. So I think he'll end up reverting back.
He burned people's bets and then said, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, he just took the second half off, but I think we're going to see more of what we saw from the second half before the entire game. And the last one's going to be a little bit of, I think, just an underrated play. It's going to be Jayson Tatum under half a block, which sounds extremely degenerate, but I got a couple of good reasons for it.
Yeah. When was the last time he has one? Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
I was going to say, if you're looking at the actual series up to this point, he's had 0 blocks in 4 of the 5 games. The one random game that he had 3, a couple of ending of the shot clock situation. But when you've had 0 and 4 out of 5 against this team, and even outside of sleeper, it's about -110 on both sides. 4 out of 5, you're going to give me -110. I'm going to take the under.
Easy money. Yeah, I like all those. I started. Give me Wiggins over. I went points, but here in Scott's case with the rebounds, points, rebounds, assists, that may actually be the better way to go. But I already put in the bet, so screw it. Wiggins over 18.5 points. They've moved the line up, but he seems to me like one of the more comfortable scorers, and I don't know, like they haven't been doing a good job contesting him, and he's getting a ton of open looks. Co-signed the Draymond Green under 7.5 points. Like getting to 8 points was very annoying. Earlier on the series it was 8.5. He wasn't hitting it. They moved it down to 7.5. He barely got over. But to Scott's point, like I don't think he even really cares about scoring. I think he went on that little bit of a run just to show people he wasn't completely washed, and maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they, like, Steve Kerr drew something up or like made a point of like, Draymond, you gotta like take some shots early just so they at least guard you a little bit in the second half. And then I'm going Tatum under 27.5. Like he's gone over 27.5 once in this series. Yeah, let me just confirm that. But yeah, he had 28 in the game 2 loss at Golden State. Everything else 12, 26, 23, 27, and 27 was even with him going 5 from 9 from the 3-point. He's 2 for 6 from free throws. Like clearly he has something's going on. I definitely think the guy's in his own head. So I love the under 27.5. Kramer, what do you got?
Well, first of all, shout out to John J. Policarpio della Victoria. Checking out the Facebook live stream. Asked for a shout out. Hilariously long name. All right. I heard a lot of good things, and I wish I had gone first, so it doesn't seem like I'm copying everyone else.
It's all right, right?
On the Draymond Green angle as well.
We're in a panel, man. We share everything.
Exactly.
Also, going right to the Jaylen Brown rebound. Well, the 2 games he didn't get there in the finals, he had 6. So those were pretty obvious to me. Jayson Tatum over 3.5 turnovers. Yeah, look, there's nothing worse than a guy that's pressing already than a little elimination game the turnovers should come easy. And the last one, Steph Curry, first time in how many games, Sean? 230, 200 and a lot. Over 4.5 3-pointers. He gets healthy.
That's a great point. I mean, he
only took 9. Like that's way low for him. I'll just ride or die with my man Steph. And shout out, we got to get Seth Greenberg on the show after Steph finally gets the Finals MVP, so I can ask him once and for all why the fuck he didn't offer a scholarship to Steph Curry. Del Curry's the greatest basketball player in the history of Virginia Tech. His son didn't go there because Seth Greenberg. Anyway. I went 4 legs. Sorry.
No,
sorry
that's
to
all
one
right,
up
Ryan.
you assholes. But while you guys were talking, yes. I also made a Draymond Green under, Klay Thompson over points. Thank you, Terrell and the chat, and a Jayson Tatum under half block because I loved Scott not only giving the half block prop, but then having the data to back it up.
Having an angle, and again, these ones that are like a half turnover, a half block, the sweat is great.
If Tatum blocks someone in the first minute of the game, you know why.
I love taking these things that are a half either way, under or over, because you can a lot of times you're just sweating it out the entire game. All right, we're gonna get to the actual game and then any sort of future stuff. Before we get to that, manscaped.com, baby, back and better than ever. Fire up the lawnmower. We got the lawnmower 4.0. Father's Day is upon us. And if your old man's like you, also a hairy gentleman, send him some Manscaped. I'm sure how many times has your dad asked you to mow the lawn? Now you can help your dad mow his own lawn. Ryan, they didn't write that, but I improvised that. I feel pretty happy with it. The brand new Boxers 2.0. Dare I say it, the best boxers around. They even have the patented jewel pouch. Again, manscaped.com. Highly recommend it. Travel bag, I really enjoy. Nice. Great for road trips. Manscaped.com, promo code SGP. 20% off and free shipping. Are you kidding me? Manscaped.com, promo code SGP. And we're also brought to you by Athletic Greens. 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. Again, been traveling a lot. Been feeling great, and I owe it all to AG1, man. It's cheaper than your cold brew habit, better sleep, better recovery. 7,000 5-star reviews for Athletic Greens. Make it super easy to get you going. They're going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is go to athleticgreens.com/SGP, athleticgreens.com/SGP to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
And just real quick, Manscaped also didn't provide the sweet lawn mowing sound effect.
No. I, as a man who's passionate about spreading the word of how you should safely trim your pubes, I feel like I owe it to the audience to get that visual go with the lawnmower 4.0. And
I like how you hear the lawnmower like going away and coming back.
It's theater of the mind, Ryan.
Would that be the proverbial dad in this ad read doing pirouettes as he's using the lawnmower 4.0? That's why the sound is coming in and out. And again, hit a rough patch.
Unlike when I mowed the lawn back in the day, you don't have to bag it.
Well, I mean, I used that when I first started mowing a lawn. The younger gentleman.
Well, you're talking about actually mowing lawns now, right?
I
either way,
know whether you were talking about regularly mowing the lawn or not.
When I started mowing actual lawns and metaphorical lawns, I used one of those old push mowers. And then you kind of progress into, if Manscaped was smart, they would get a starting system for the trimmer that you like pull, like one of these.
The little button on the side. You got to pump up.
You got to prime it.
You got to prime the lawnmower 4.0. All right. Now let's talk the game. Again, I don't want to give myself the out of if Scott Foster is the ref.
It doesn't matter.
Have my chance to change the picks. Again, just like X's and O's aside, as a gut handicapper, like there was a lot of defeated, sad faces going on with those Celtics. And I think, again, coming back to the experience angle, I think it really makes a difference. And I think the fact it's kind of working out perfectly for Golden State, as much as it's not going to work out great for my MVP, I think it is going to work out, or for Wiggins MVP, it's going to work out great for Warriors in 6, because I think this is Steph's shot to come back, to kind of take the series over, to come back from that 0 for 9 behind the arc and really establish himself as the alpha, win the MVP, win the game. I still don't understand how they're 4-point dogs here. +4, -108.
Books are so lazy. They're just running shit back because they have no fucking clue.
Over at WinBet, +145 money line. Total sitting at 210. I'm all over the money line. I think Warriors get it done. I mean, I gave out Warriors -6, Warriors in 6 series. Like I haven't seen anything to scare me off that. Certainly, Boston losing back-to-back games. Now they're at home. That's a little scary, and maybe something happens with the ref. But I'm leaning in Golden State one more time, money line. Scott, what about you?
So I feel like the one thing that's potentially scaring me off Golden State is the fact that they had 3 separate in each series. They had a chance to just end the series on the road, and they lost all 3 times and then close it out at home the game after. But I agree with you. I like Golden State on the money line. And Boston is a team that we talked about before, how Udoka has kind of run out of adjustments. Defensively, he's made some adjustments. They started being more aggressive with Curry. They kind of forced him off of his spot, which is why he struggled from the floor. Offensively, I have no idea what they're doing. And I have no idea what they've been doing for the last couple of games. Boston had all the success in game 3 when they played extremely fast. And for whatever reason, they have slowed the game to a crawl and they've been torched. I don't really know why they decided to go back to playing a slow brand of basketball, but it seems like Boston is content with letting the team live or die in the hands of Tatum, and it has not worked. So I'm going to go with Golden State. I think the wing defenders are definitely enough to keep Tatum and Brown at bay. I also expect Curry to bounce back, as you said before. And if we're talking about the rebounding edge, which is what Boston was going to pride itself on, it really didn't do much rebounding wise last game. And Looney got into foul trouble 3 minutes into the game. So the fact they got out rebounded by a pretty decent margin while Looney only played 17 minutes and while Looney only had 3 rebounds, I think is very concerning. So even though Golden State has had a track record of losing the road series clinching game to win the home series clinching game, I'm going to take Golden State because I think that Boston's confidence is shot. Boston at home has not been great this postseason, and offensively, Boston looks totally lost right now.
Yeah, I think Boston's lost 2 games at home in each of the previous series, so this would be another second home loss for them in the playoff series. And yeah, you mentioned the Looney rebounds over. Love that as a solo prop as well. But what about you, Terrell? And also, we have a guy in the YouTube chat saying we just need baddies in the crowd to have a pool party. Have we gotten any update as far as the baddie situation? Maybe they're bringing them out to Boston to inspire Jordan Poole. Any update on that in social media?
Well, it's very hard to get them in Boston because it's you have to outsource. A little bit, I've heard. You've heard you have to outsource, but to get to the wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm getting
okay. You getting a call?
Hello. Yeah. Hey. Hello. Yeah. Who is it? What you mean? Who is this? You called me. All right. So wait, you said 95% of the money's on Boston. Okay. All right. Oh, you said
I love the banker.
Boston has no offense. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
See,
you said the baddies are going to be in attendance. The baddies are going to be in attendance. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Is fake Klay going to be in attendance though?
Just to let you know, they said put everything on Golden State.
Let's go.
Because there's nothing else. Boston has given their best shot in multiple games in this series thus far. In game 5, they gave their best shot. And in game 4, they gave their best shot. In game 5, in that second half, they gave their best shot. Everything they had. That was a great second half by Boston. We were sitting there in the sportsbook, and the sportsbook was lit because everybody was on Boston.
Yeah.
Hence, again, the public is on Boston. People, that's got to ring in your head somewhere. The public is on Boston. So everybody was on Boston, and they put up a good run. They put up a great run. They took the lead, and it wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough, and Steph Curry was not on that day. Klay was doing solid. And now you're telling me you're getting him into the situation that for some reason he gets hard on for game 6s? Like, that's such a random ass game to just get hard on for no reason. And he said,
gets fired
game 6
up.
is my game.
He's also sorry, Terrell, but he's got to have a chip on his shoulder after there was an impersonator.
Yes, I don't know if you guys saw
someone
fake
trying
Klay.
to take his spot.
There was
and the guy could have took his spot because he made more 3-pointers than Klay made in the finals. So he really could take his spot. And so very much so that you have this situation where Boston has made the adjustments. They made the adjustments for the adjustments. And at the end of the day, the only thing that works is if their shot goes in or if the shot doesn't. And I know it sounds like a terrible handicap, but it's so easy. When Boston is in rhythm, they make their outside shots. That is how they win the games. However, when they get off rhythm, when they're off for just a split second, a half a second, whether it's slow or a half a second fast, they're always missing those shots. They're throwing turnovers like you saw last game.
Yeah.
And Golden State has found a way to stay disciplined through all of this and all the troubles that the Boston defense has given them. I haven't seen anything that is really weighing me to sway off of Golden State here. And I did not forget to tell you, 95% of the money is on Boston.
Oh my God.
That's insane. I don't know where you're seeing that. Where are you seeing that split, Terrell? That is crazy.
Why are you asking questions you don't want to hear the answer to? We'll just say it's a competitor site, but I would say this. I would say there's multiple sites that have similar data.
Really? That big of a split? That's crazy.
Suggesting that they're. I would say that the what I look for in the signals is that like you have a relatively balanced amount of tickets. You have a decent amount of sample size in terms of how many bets are down. We're still 24 hours away. Yep. But the key here is that there's clearly a ton of action has come in dollar wise on the Celtics, period. And to your point of why is this 4 points? That's probably why.
Kramer, what do you got? Are you riding
what do you
Warriors
mean, what
ride
do I
or
got?
die?
Of course. And not only that am I doing that, Steph Curry's first.
Oh yeah. Were you going some first bucket stuff?
Basket prop. First basket exact method. Steph Curry 70-1 game 4, 90-1 game 5. He's now 80-1 for game 6. So I'm riding that one again. One more time.
We told that guy in line at the sports book that we were at. He goes 90-1 first bucket of free throw from Steph Curry. It's a damn good bet. He was really excited when you told him that. He also told me that Tatum was going to go off, and he goes, remember that when you don't hit your over 27 or under 27.5, know that I told you that Tatum was going to go off. And of course he had 27.5 point under. So shout out to me for getting that line. Ryan, so what is your what's your play here? You taking the money line?
Yeah. I mean, I think once again, what's the number up to? You guys probably know, like 70 through 75 games in a row in the NBA finals where the spread hasn't mattered. So I guess we're just taking the money line if we like the Warriors, especially at the price. But you know the alt god's going to come in with some maximum value propositions. So first of all, if you wanted to be responsible, you could actually get Warriors -4 at +215. If you didn't want to be responsible and you wanted to say, hey, I liked your +420 special, which by the way, we got to talk to WinBet about a 420 special with Kramer centric. -9 is 420 again. We won with this 2 games ago. With this, we won by 10 points. Maybe it was a little lucky. Sean thought it was
never in doubt.
Never in doubt. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. But here's the crazy thing. If I just want to tack on an additional 1.5,
yeah,
I can take it from 420 to 500.
10.5. See, I did 10.
I'm a 420 guy. I'm throwing out options.
I did 10.5. I think I'm going to make my dog Warriors -6.5 +300. And let's go around, give out our locks for me.
Real quick,
yes,
because if I do think there is something to the is Horford going to be a basketball player next year? Could this be a ride or die moment? His point total is 9.5.
Yeah, no, I even as a guy who likes the Warriors,
110 on the over.
I like the over there at 9.5. That feels good.
So those were the couple things that I saw, and then just because someone pointed out that this has hit, I think. 3 times this series, someone slid into the DMs. The Steph Curry back-to-back 3-pointers. It obviously didn't hit last game, but what a great way to play the regression angle. Steph Curry will hit back-to-back 3-pointers is +370.
Love it.
Which again, I don't love the price, but I hit it before, so
it's
gotta
fun.
go back to the well.
All right, time for our locks. The locks brought to you by IP Vanish. You want to lock up your internet security? Head over to IP Vanish. They're offering you 70% off their yearly plan. Again, highly recommend using a VPN. People can get your passwords, your browsing history, ton of stuff on your laptop or whatever you're up to on the internet. You don't want people getting access to that. You can put it on unlimited devices. Doesn't slow down your internet speed at all. Again, game changer. Highly recommend ipvanish.com/SGP. 70% off the yearly plan and a 30-day money back guarantee. So give it a try. I think you'll like it. I know you'll like it. ipvanish.com/SGP. So my lock.
Oh, real quick. Sean confirmed that it doesn't affect speeds this trip. I'm sure he was looking at some nefarious stuff, maybe some streaming.
Hey, whatever I was doing in the hotel Wi-Fi is going to be between me and IPVanish and the hotel Wi-Fi. Warriors money line's a lock. Like I said, the dog. I'm going to lock it in at -6.5. We haven't even. Are
you worried you're going to anger the alt gods by?
No, I think 6.5. 6.5 is it's
the construct of the alt.
You're
not an alt guy.
You go way higher.
You're a straight and narrow guy, by the book guy.
I also
a gut guy.
I also like Golden State team total over 103. That feels pretty low, especially if you just throw in Steph hitting some 3-pointers. I think they're going to easily get to 103. So like the over on that. But Scott, what do you got as far as your best bet? Any sort of long shot? And we haven't even really touched on the total. It's at 210 -108 each way over at Win. Any thoughts on the total there as well?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned it because it was going to be one of my best bets.
Let's go.
I was torn between either the under or Boston team total under, but I do like both quite a bit. I'm gonna go with the Celtics team total under in this one. I've seen nothing offensively in terms of adjustments for the last couple of games. Tatum can't hit a layup. He's shooting about 30% from 2 in this series, which is insanely bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know what Boston's counters are. Horford had a big game 1. He's done nothing since. Marcus Smart's actually been good offensively for about 3 games in a row. And I don't know if he can do it for a 4th game in a row, but Jaylen Brown's been hit or miss. And what else do they have? Do they have anything else offensively?
Yeah, no, I mean their team total is sitting at 107.
I think it's correlated. I think if Golden State's going to win, I think it goes under because I really don't know how Boston is supposed to just get a lot of easy looks throughout this game unless they play with more pace. But it seems like they just hate playing with pace because they never do it. So I'm going to go with the team total under for Boston. I think they're going to struggle offensively.
Yeah, I think this. Yeah, I mean, to that point, the Warriors are a smart team. I'm sure they're diving into the analytics. I'm sure they see just don't let Boston be a team that runs out on you. All right, is it my turn or Terrell's turn?
No, Terrell, what do you got?
I'm going with Warriors dog.
Oh, sorry.
Warriors.
Sorry,
Warriors dog.
I'm gonna take the money line as my dog.
Okay, cool. And then your lock is the team total under Celtics sitting at 107 over at the Win. Scott, what do you got? Or no, sorry, Terrell. I got.
Scott and Terrell. It's easy to confuse the two.
I woke up in Detroit. Come on, give me a break.
It's gonna be super easy. I'm just go ahead, Golden State plus 3.5, +4, whatever you get it at. Golden State money line, super easy. Play Boston first quarter, play Golden State third quarter. It's gonna go exactly the game script. We're gonna have NBA champions by the end of tomorrow night. That's it.
A champion will be crowned. Halftime, full time. If you are interested in that kind of action, Boston to win the first half. Warriors. The game is 6-1. How do you not lock up Golden State third quarter coming off a loss?
Yeah, I know.
But I'll be on that. But yeah, I'm with you. I'll lock up the money line as well. Dog will be the 420 -9. Golden State alt line. Let's see if we can hit a third. Has anyone ever hit 3 alt lines in the same NBA finals? I don't know. Can it be done?
Ryan, this is what legends are made of.
This is how you become a thought leader in the space. And for a little bonus, let's not be the guy who doesn't jump on the Steph Curry 80-1 first bucket is a free throw.
Yeah. All right. I'll co-sign that. Those things are fun.
I mean, come on. If it happens and you're not on it, you're going to be pissed.
I'll be super upset.
It's a pizza bet, like Bowser says, or whatever, a horse bet.
Exactly. Throw a couple bucks there. Hey, we're also giving away $250 with our US Open contest. Download the SGPN app, hit contest there, and you can also hit a contest. Submit your review of the Sports Gambling Podcast on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot of you submitting it, send it in there. Giving away free gear every Monday, aka Merch Monday. Big thanks to Scott Reichel. You can follow him on Twitter at Reichel Radio, and Terrell Furman. You can follow him on Twitter at ReallyRel _. And of course, check out them on the NBA Gambling Podcast, WNBA Gambling Podcast, doing a ton of stuff for the Sports Gambling Podcast and for the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Scott Terrell. Can't wait to hear all the WNBA picks now that the NBA season is over.
Kramer.
Looking forward to giving them out.
Let it ride. Thanks, guys. A lot of fun.